Lifestyle, brought to you by the Panache Restaurant, Outrigger Laguna. Steve here with you through until 3. And regular listeners to the show will know between 1 and 2 we like to bring somebody into the studio to have a little chat. Now, I can tell you, the last event this lot organised was superb, and the next one's just around the corner. The Classic Media are going to be involved with, and that's Super Kidz. So we've managed to bring Tim into the studio. Tim Jardine, Director of Thanyapura Triathlon Academy. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Steve. Pleasure to be here.
Welcome to Phuket's Live 89.5. It's nice to have you here.
Oh, it's great.
So I can tell you, when I met you for the first time, you were doing the MC at the last event. You got a great voice, my friend. You got a radio voice. You want to come and do this job?
Oh, I couldn't do your job, Steve.
Oh, you could. Late night DJ. You the man. The man.
Too tricky.
I doubt it. Where are you from, Tim?
I'm a Kiwi.
Are you?
Yeah.
So All Blacks throughout.
Blacks. Yeah, I was watching the All Blacks play in the Booster Bar up at Thanyapura with quite a few Australians. So the first half were a little bit shaky. And I was just so pleased to see the Kiwi team pull away in the second half.
It's great giving the Australians some ribbing at the moment, isn't it? Huh? I tell you, not doing very well, are they?
Well, they're the sort of guys that they play well when they're the underdogs, and when they're winning a lot, they kind of get a bit complacent.
Yeah. So. Well, it's nice to have you here in the studio. How long have you been in Phuket then?
I've only been here 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. But
when you say only 6 months, has it gone quick?
It has. I can't believe how quick.
And you came straight from New Zealand?
Yeah.
So what's your background then?
I've got a agricultural background, also before that marketing and sales. So I did quite well with marketing and sales. Ended up being able to buy a lifestyle property, which was an organic pip fruit orchard in Central Hawke's Bay, North Island of New Zealand.
That sounds like the dream for me already. Why do you want to leave that?
Well, it's a big change, and as things happened...
That's my fault. I should have told you to turn your phone off before you came into the studio.
Yeah.
It proves that it's live anyway, okay? He's just got to answer his phone. There you go.
And that was a dream come true. The first 6 years were great. We're getting good prices. Economically, things have changed a little for the farmer in New Zealand. Costs are just higher and returns a bit lower. Our dollar's got a lot stronger compared to the US dollar, where we send a lot of our produce. So things were getting tight. And I sort of, along the way, somehow got involved in triathlon as a means just to get fit. And that evolved into helping my own children become fit. They're quite computer geeky, if you like.
Most of them are these days.
Yeah, so I was a bit anxious. Hey, they're sitting around and, we should be out doing things. So
proof in the pudding, if you're doing it yourself, then they can do it as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only way. So you've ended up at Thanyapura. What I mean by it being ended up, it's a beautiful place to actually be here in Phuket.
Stunning.
And when you sort of were talking maybe about the job and coming over here, when you actually saw it, were you amazed how the facilities are here?
I was stunned when I first, I'd seen photos and I was interested. Thailand I've always been fascinated about, but I'd never been here before. And a lot of Kiwis travel, and my friends had been here and loved it. They just loved the Thai people. And it's got a laid-back nature to it that is quite similar to a Kiwi lifestyle, if you like. So coming over here, immediately, it's different. You can't read the signs, and there's language barriers, but you can still feel the people, the friendliness of the local people. And that's endearing. And from there, it's just got better for me. Missing a New Zealand winter is always a bonus. So
I know you're coming from the English winter, of course, as well.
Yeah, so I've just it's growing on me all the time. Thanyapura is a fantastic facility as far as sports. It offers so much. I'm really and it's still growing. So I'm in love with that place.
Good man.
And to work there is, it's a dream come true for a little Kiwi guy.
Yeah, good on you. And a big challenge. And we're going to talk a little bit about Super Kidz. The next event is on September the 1st. We'll be talking with Tim very shortly here. Lifestyle brought to you by the Panache Restaurant Outrigger in Laguna. Steve here with you through until 3 o'clock every weekday. Today we've got Tim, who's working up at the Thanyapura in Phuket. It's not really work though, is it, Tim?
It doesn't feel like work. It feels like a holiday. But hey, there's things to do, there's things to accomplish.
Of course. And one of the things that we're heavily involved with at Class Act Media is the Super Kidz project. I was there on the first one, well organised, well attended, good weather in the end, because that was a bit of a gamble, because in the north of Phuket tends to have a little bit more sort of rain, obviously. Yeah. So that was a good event, and the next one's coming up on September the 1st, isn't it?
Yeah, September the 1st we have a running race up at Thanyapura. There's a 500 metre track, which is unusual. But I was thinking about that today. I said, I think it's pretty cool having a 500 metre track. And then I thought, well, why on earth were running tracks ever 400 metres? It just didn't make sense to me.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
so,
maybe because a lot of places maybe couldn't fit them into 500.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, hey, as a coach, it's easy. 2 laps is 1K. And so during this event, 1 lap for the younger kids, 500 metres. We have a 3K running race as well, a little more challenging for some of the olders. And we're finishing off with a 10K running race as well. So we're holding it later in the evening when it's a bit cooler. I think, the lights will come on. So we're looking for that sort of special atmosphere, really.
Different atmosphere, yeah.
Absolutely. And if you've been to a track meeting at night, it's very exciting. Lights and so on. So I think the idea is to, something on a Sunday to come in. Everybody can have a go, adults and children. So it's more a family event. A lot of good food, a lot of good Thai food. I love Thai food.
It's working out quite well for you, this little venture, isn't it?
Things just keep getting better. So, when you add that in, I think it's going to be something that's going to grow legs for us, and hopefully we can put it regularly on the calendar.
Yeah, you're quite right about saying something a little bit different later on in the day as well, when it's a bit cooler. And also, it's like a fun day activity, getting the whole family involved. So if you've never had the chance to go to Thanyapura, this is a good opportunity to get involved from the whole family point of view, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. One of the fantastic things that I've seen as a coach over the years, coaching younger sort of 13 to 18-year-olds, some of the parents are also involved in the sport. And it can get competitive between son and father. Right. And I've seen dad buy a new bike and upgrade.
You're not speaking from experience here, are you, by the way, James?
No. My son was a rugby player. He didn't want a bar of triathlon. He was okay in the pool. But I think with the father-son relationship, this is where it's good to have someone on the outside who is a coach and another voice. Quite often, the children at that age, they want to rebel a little bit against mum and dad. Particularly the 14, 15-year-old girls can get pretty tricky. They are looking to be independent and have their own voice. And this is where I think it's good for a parent to have a coach come on board and take care of the sort of physical sporting element there, without them having to try and push all the time.
What's one of the greatest things that you've noticed in the short time you've been here in doing the job that you do?
It's varied. I've met so many people, and they're very good people. They are there's such an international feel, and the people that have chosen to come here are fairly outgoing. They're very interesting, and I think Thailand has similar challenges for all expats that live here. So there's a good sense of communication with all the expats going on. Hey, I found this, I've got this, and there's a lot of good communication going on how to live well here and how to get on well. And I think it builds an amazing safe. I feel very safe here as a result of that. I've developed a good understanding of the place. Before I came, I was a little worried. I wasn't too sure what to expect.
Of course, media always hype things, don't we?
Yeah, well,
in the wrong direction. Yeah, and until you see it yourself. Do you think that, obviously you've been coaching for quite a while, one way or another, do you think the attitude of children have changed? Do you think they have confidence sooner in their life? I mean, when I was growing up, it was sort of you're part of a team or you're getting involved, and just about remember sort of wanting to do something and wasn't too sure if I was going to be able to achieve it, and sort of step back a little bit because I was feeling a little bit nervous and negative. Do you think the kids these days are different because they're brought up differently, do you think?
For me, I was from a fairly disciplined parents. Both of mine, we'd be a little bit worried if we're doing things not in order. We had a few checkpoints, really, to observe. I think with the kids these days, they've got far more information quite quickly and readily available to them via the internet. There's a lot more easy sort of recreational sit back, play games on computers and so on. And technology, it's good, but in some ways it's also created perhaps a more hyper child. And the other aspect I think that's different is there's a little more cotton wooling protectiveness going on about safety issues.
Okay.
Whereas we're sort of thrown outside and left to beat each other with sticks.
Own devices, yeah, that's right. Don't come until it's dark.
So those two things maybe to me are the big differences, really.
Okay. We're talking with Tim Jardine, who's the director of Thanyapura Triathlon Academy here on Phuket's Live 89.5 today. Back with him very shortly. Steve here on Lifestyle, taking you through until 3 o'clock, and then Jason's on the air between 3 and 7. Pleasure having this gentleman in the studio today. He's from Thanyapura. He is the director of Thanyapura Triathlon Academy. His name is Tim Jardine. He's loving being here, and why not? And he's here to tell us all about Super Kidz, which is happening on Sunday, the 1st of September. Now, the facilities at Thanyapura are second to none, and that's putting it sort of mildly. Not only is it a great running track and you can get involved with the Super Kidz, there's lots of other things there as well, isn't there?
The pool is one of the best pools I've ever swum in. 50 metre. It's very deep, 3 metre, and I think that gives immediately a swimmer a bit of lift. Just that extra water there. They don't use the chlorine system. It's a nice ozone cleaned pool, so you don't get that heavy chlorine feeling, which it can be very irritating.
Yes, of course, I know that feeling.
Yeah, and it's been well maintained. They keep it at a very nice, cool temperature. It's just amazing to swim in a pool like that. It must cost a fortune to keep it that way, I'm sure, because the temperatures are quite high here, and they look after it. Next to it's a little 25 metre pool. Well, it's not little, actually. So I used to coach, Steve, back in my day in a small 6-lane 25 metre pool, and my arms could just about touch the bottom of that pool.
Yeah.
And you'd walk into the swimming pool area, and it would, the smell of chlorine would hit you straight away. And so this is completely the opposite.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you see one amazing Olympic-sized 50-metre pool, and right next to it there's another 10-lane 25-metre pool. It's all set up. Learn to swim. Learn to swim is very popular there. A huge number of kids coming in, and to me, every kid should be compulsory. They need to learn to swim.
Especially in this part of the world where it's surrounded by water.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even in New Zealand, we're sort of a very outdoors nation. A lot of drownings.
Yesterday, we had the director of TAT Phuket in the studio telling us about a fantastic bike ride that's happening on the 8th of September. From a leisurely point of view, getting the whole family involved. And I know you're a big fan of bikes, aren't you?
Absolutely. The bicycle will solve the world's problems.
Right, okay. You had it first here, by the way.
Right. No, I think with cycling, it's a great way for someone who's perhaps a little heavier than what they'd like to be, to get out. One, you're sitting down, which is always nice, and two, you're using the legs. Now the legs have some big muscle groups in them, and if you're using big muscle groups, you're going to be burning some energy, and as a result, you're going to be dropping a bit of weight. So getting out and cycling, great for the cardio system as well, the heart, lungs system. You know, rather than burning petrol and carbon monoxide, this is a great way to get rid of cardio health that the world suffers from.
That's right.
I think it's one of the main killers. And of course we've got oil and gas problems, don't we? So when's that going to run out?
Yeah,
so
that's true. So all these facilities obviously in a beautiful part of the world, Thanyapura. Now, just in case someone's got off the plane into a taxi and doesn't know where we're talking about Thanyapura, tell us a little bit more about where it is.
It's very close to the airport. You could get there within, by push bike, 30 minutes.
Right. Depends how quick you cycle, of course.
Yeah. If you took a taxi, look, you're going to be there 10, 15 minutes. And it's hidden away. It's in a beautiful setting. I love the rubber plantations. They offer a lot of shade, and the backdrop to it is a native. It looks like it's never been touched. The hills behind it, so it's absolutely gorgeous setting. And sometimes after it's rained up there, you see the steam coming through the jungle, and it's beautiful.
Beautiful part of the world.
Yeah.
Okay, just a final plug then for the Super Kidz, which is happening on Sunday the 1st of September. All a little bit different. Hopefully in the floodlights you'll enjoy it as well. So tell us a little bit more about the day itself.
We're looking at registration opening at 4 p.m. You can jump online, www.thanyapura.com, and find the registration details are up there. Once we've registered, we're looking at the first race kicking off around 5 p.m. That'll be starting with the junior races. After each race, we'll be presenting medals to the winners. Going through the evening, the distances increase. A lot of good food. There'll be music as well.
It's going to be a great day.
It is something special. And to me, I've been to, when I was younger, I went to quite a few track meets with the lights on at night. And it's the
atmosphere is really good, huh?
It is. I think also a lot of athletes prefer running in the evening under lights like that for some reason. Whether it's the showmanshipy side or it just stirs the blood a bit more.
You never know. Could be the next Usain Bolt there.
Yeah.
On the 1st of September.
Hey, some of these kids are very fast. We just had one boy, he texted me early this morning. He did 101 for a sprint triathlon. He'd been at a camp with us for 3 weeks, and he thoroughly enjoyed being able to use all those facilities and to be coached and trained in that way. So for kids, I think really if you're a parent, I can only encourage you to at least come up and have a look. You're welcome to come and have a talk with me, and let's see if we can put something together for your child. Okay, check out the website thanyapura.com. Tim, it's been a pleasure having you in the studio. Thank you very much indeed, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday the 1st of September. Thank you, Steve.